So let's move on. Now there are other ways to initialize an array. Okay, so we are going to use the example here. I already copied and pasted the code in my Visual Studio. And just like before, I'm going to set a breakpoint here. And let's try to run it. It's running. And again, we can go down here and look at the different tabs. So if you look at autos, we have again friends here. The size is 2, okay, and the type is a string array. Now, if you expand and see what the elements inside it, you see 2 elements only, friends sub 0, friends sub 1. Okay, if you look at locals, if you things seems to be okay. If you expand it here, you see again 2 elements here. Okay, again you can go to watch, and then you see 2 elements. And you may notice that there are some kind of errors here. What I found out is that these errors usually do not matter. Okay, it should not affect the execution of your program. Okay, so never mind it for now. Just to show you that this may happen sometimes. Okay, so let's try another way to initialize the program. So let's copy the code here and then paste it here. Okay, let me comment out the previous one and let's run it again. Again, same thing, go to locals, expand it. Now we have 4 elements here. Okay, go to watch, the watch tab. Again, you see the same thing, same errors, and it doesn't really matter for now. Okay, so let's stop it. Now, of course, there's yet another way to initialize the strings of the array, an array of strings. So I'll leave it up to you to try it. Okay, now let's move on to multi-dimensional arrays in C#. So here's how you initialize the array. So let's copy it and we can paste it into our Visual Studio Code. Actually, we can do better by declaring it and initializing it using this code. Okay, so not only we declare the variable, we also initialize it using this statement here. Okay, so let's comment out the previous line and then paste it in here. Okay, try to give it a nice indentation by selecting the lines, press the tab key, and then tap again. Okay, so it's now nicely formatted. So try to make programming an art. Okay, try to feel happy about programming. Make your code beautiful. Okay, so this is it. So let's try to run it by pressing F5. It's running. And again, if you look at the watch, there are some errors here, but it doesn't really matter. So let's look at autos. Now again, it only look at the variable immediately before the current breakpoint. So in this case, we have only numbers. Okay, you can see that is numbers sub 00, sub 01, sub 02, and up to. So this is the first row, right? From sub 00 to sub 04. This is the first row. And then the second row is numbers sub 1 to numbers sub 1 and 4. Okay, basically are 10 elements here. Okay, and again, if you go to your locals, you see more variables because it again includes art here, okay, which is this one. Okay, if you go to watch one, again, you have some errors here. They don't really matter here. Okay, I think this is some due to the garbage collection problem. Okay, so never mind it for now. It should be okay. And then you move on. And then here's an example of using a for loop to loop through a 2-dimensional array. So let's try it. So again, copy the code from here. Now notice that in this case, we are using a function or method of the array, okay, called getLength. Okay, so we try to get length of this array here, okay, and then this is the condition of the outer loop, And then on the inner loop, we also try to get the length of the numbers, but this time we are getting the second row. So this is getting the length of the first row, this is getting the length of the second row. Okay, so let's try it. So let's try to do a multi-line comment here. Okay, and then paste the code in here. And just like before, try to make our code beautiful. Actually, it's the same code, right? Well, so we don't need our comment here. Okay, it should work. So let's remove the extra lines on the view here. So let's run it. And this time you write out the value, okay, from this loop. Okay, so let's try to run it. Let's try to run it again. As you can see, the output is here. So let's see. Now, when you submit your assignments, try to make your fonts easier to read. Okay, so you can right click on the console terminal, click properties, and then make the font size 0.24. Okay, you can, if you want, you can change the colors as well. For example, I want to change the background to this deep blue, and the screen text I want to change it to yellow. And you can see now I can see the screen much better, and try to protect my eyes as well. Okay, so that's how you use if, nested for loops to loop through a two-dimensional string. Okay, this is just an explanation of the get length method. Okay, of course, int32 is the data type of the argument that you should put into this function. So basically, it means a short integer. Okay. Now there's a third type of array that we want to cover today. Is called jagged arrays. Okay, a jagged array is similar to a two-dimensional array. The only difference is that the elements, each element of a jagged array may have a different size. Okay, so this is a syntax. So this looks like a two-dimensional array, right? But notice that we only specify, when we declare it, we only specify the row size. Okay, we don't have to specify the column size. Now, of course, jagged array is just any name. You can call it any name you want. So let's look at an actual example. So this one declares a jagged array which has 4 rows.